Hi friends and welcome to my channel. In this video we are going to sew our block number 7 from our Pieceful basket sew along. This block is the block of the month that comes with our sew sampler box. This is what our block looks like this month. And I'm going to show you my block in my own colorway that I am doing. So this is it right here. This is what I've been sewing on video for the past 6 videos. So this is it right here. This is what your block is going to look like. So in today's video, I'm going to sew it using the color from the kit so you can see what it will look like. But with that being said, let's dive in and start sewing our block number 7 from our Pieceful basket sew along. Here we go. So I have my pieces cut out right here to make our block for this month, and this is our block number 7 from our Pieceful basket sew along from our sew sampler box. So for the past few months I've been sewing it from my colorway, but for this month moving forward I'm going to sew it in the color that comes with the kit. So for our first step we are going to sew our R and O. We're going to make 2 HST and they are here. I just want to point something out. Since we are using a kind of like a directional fabric, I went on ahead and sew HST with my flowers facing upward like this. And all I did was rotate my my fabric to make sure that is placed right. And also we have to sew this this flying geese. I also wanted to, it is directional. I also went on ahead and sewed my flowers facing upward. So our next step that we're going to sew is our 3/4 square. The way it's illustrated in the pattern is different from the way I'm going to sew it. I'm going to show you how I sew mine with the way I'm sewing it. You only have to sew it once. So to make this 3/4 square, we're going to sew an HST first. And the way I'm doing it for this is making my 3/4 square by just using 3 different fabrics. Okay. Now, I want to refer you to the pattern. The pattern has a great illustration and it also breaks it down. This is also beginner friendly as well. This will prevent your fabric from stretching if you're a beginner. So I'm just going to sew it step by step so you can see how I do it. So we're going to make an HST. So we're going to take our dark and then we're going to take our background. Pretty size together, and I'm going to make an HST first. So now I've sewn a 1/4 inch away from the center. So what I'm going to do now is just kind of like cut it in the middle. I'm going to snip it down. All right. So now I have 2 HSTs like this, but we're not done. So now what I'm going to do is put this over here. I'm not going to trim it. So the next thing I'm going to do now is make sure that my color placement are placed right. I'm going to put my HST going this way. Then I'm going to bring my other color. I'm going to put it like this. I'm going to fold it back to make sure it's where it's supposed to be, and it is. So I have my dark color going this way and I have my lighter color going this way. So what I'm going to do is make sure that this match. That's the only thing that matters here, is making sure that your corner placement is right, because we're still going to trim it. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is just sew a 1/4 inch away from the center. Now we have this 2 right here looking like this, and I'm going to flip it back and we're going to look like this. All right. So what we're going to do now is cut down the middle. It doesn't matter what kind of ruler. I'm just going to just trim down the middle. I'm just going to show you step by step of what I'm doing. And then I'm going to bring my ruler, because they look kind of jaggedy right now. I'm going to bring my ruler. I'm going to measure to what size it wants us to be. And this ruler is the strip tube ruler, and I'm going to trim. I'm going to look again to make sure I have it right. All right. And that's what it's supposed to be. And I'm going to come around again, flip this over to make sure that I'm not cutting wrong. I'm going to bring this and I'm going to bring it like this. I'm going to trim. So now we have 2 of our 3/4 that we need. Okay. And that's done right there. So now our next step is to assemble this. So what I'm going to do is take our first step here. I'm going to take our flying geese for our next step, and I'm going to place them. And then I'm going to bring our HST that we made previously. I'm going to place it like that. So this is what this is looking like. And then I'm going to take our 3/4 that we just recently made. I'm going to bring it and put it like this. And then this is going to go like this. And so we're gonna take this right here, put it like this. After we have our component like this, we're gonna bring our solid color, which is our square. We're gonna put it like this, and then we're gonna bring our rectangle. We're gonna put it like that. So this is what we are looking like right now. So what I'm gonna do is piece this together, then I will add the other component on the side. Okay, so I have the first part done for this. This is a two flying geese. I've sewn them together, and I know they're not perfect, but they are what they are. So now that my pieces are sewn on, and yes, it looks a little wonky right now, and I don't understand why. I guess it's because I have to rip this out and re-sew it. Yes, Jack had to come out. So the next thing I'm going to do now is piece our J and K onto the bottom and to the right. And then we'll move on to our next step. So my middle part are all sewn on, and I sew on the side pieces that we need to sew onto it. So the next step that we're going to do now is make this super tiny HST. Okay, so we're gonna sew this super tiny HST, and we'll go on to our next step. So now I completed the teeny tiny HST needed for this step. Put it right here so I don't lose it because they are that small. Okay. What we're going to do next is piece our two strips. So I have my two strips right here. And what we're doing next is taking our teeny tiny square and taking this HST that we just made. We're going to put it like this on this part. On the shorter piece, we're going to put it like this. And then we're going to take our HST with the background going this way. We're going to put it like this. Okay. And then for this, we're going to flip this like this. And then we're going to take our color and we're going to take our our HST. We're going to put it like this. Okay, so this one is going this way and then this one is going this way. You see that? So that's how it's going to be. And I'm going to piece this first. I'm not going to even chain piece it. I don't want to flip it. And I'm going to just finger press to the solid. And I'm going to bring this part and I'm going to sew it. So I'm just going to do one at a time. So what I'm doing now is just piecing it together because at this point I can't mess it up. And I'm going to take our next piece and I'm going to sew our solid color to it because by this time we know that we're going to sew a solid color to this. So I'm just going to chain piece all of it. So I have them all sewn. All the strips are sewn with all their correct color. So the next thing that I'm going to do now is put this like this and then bring my body of the block. I'm going to just take my pieces that I need. So now the next thing I'm doing here is bringing the body of my block and I'm going to connect the strips that we just sewn to it. So I'm just going to bring this top here. All right. And then I'm going to bring this side like this. And then the first thing I'm going to sew is the top part. And I'm going to make sure that I pin this right here. I'm just going to take the pin here and put it over here. So I'm going to pin it. So make sure that it doesn't move. And then I'm just going to sew. So next I'm going to bring this side over here and I'm going to sew. I'm going to pin. So next I'm going to take the strip that has the white sewn onto it. And I'm going to take another strip that has another white sewn onto it on this side right here. I'm just going to connect them together. Okay. So for our next step, we're going to take our large square piece, just one of them. And we're going to take this smaller square piece right here. We're going to piece it onto the bottom like that. And then we're going to sew straight down the middle. So after sewing on this corner right here and pressing it, it should be the same size as this solid piece right here. So what I'm going to do is put it directly on top like this, okay? I'm going to bring my ruler diagonally and I'm going to cut. and that will give me 4 pieces like that. So what I'm going to do now is bring the body of my block like this, and I'm going to just build on like that. This is what it should be looking like, right? So if we flip it and go like this, it's going to look like that. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just piece all this, and then we're going to be done. So now that my block is all done and completed right here, I am going to trim it. I don't think I've shown you guys how I trim this enormous amount of a block because it's a very big block. So I have here, this is the largest ruler that I have. It's an 18 and a half inch square. So I'm just going to measure to where we're supposed to be, put my block the right way, and I'm going to kind of make sure that this corner right here is smack down like that, where it's not crooked. Bring it over like so. I have my bottom line right here on the tip of this right here, and then I have the top over right like that. So what I'm going to do is just, I'm going to cut from the right, then I'm going to cut the top. Okay, so here we go. And then I'm going to cut like that. Okay. And I do have a little bit here. I'm going to leave my ruler like this. I'm going to rotate my block like that. Now it's upside down. This is how I do mine. And I'm going to bring my ruler again, move it down a little bit, bring my ruler, make sure everything matches. And it does. I have my tip of my line right here. Okay, I'm going to just kind of hold it down. I'm sure it's right on the right and it's right on the left. I'm just going to bring, and I'm going to trim. Here's my block all completed right here. This is what it looks like, nice and trimmed, and it looks almost perfect. It's not, but it almost looked like it. And this is my other block, all completed in a yellow and gray and a little bit of blue colorway. I think this is super cute. So let me show you what they look like together side by side. So this is what my blocks look like side by side, and I have the yellow colorway, and I also have in the kit right there, all completed. I like them both. I think they both speaks for themselves, but I'd like for you to comment down below which one you like better. This blue right here reminds me of an heirloom kind of quilt, more of like your traditional blues and dark blues. And with that being said, I think they both speaks for themselves, and I think I like them both. So, but I'd like for you to comment down below and tell me which one you prefer. I'm not saying which one I like better. I like them both, but I'm asking you to comment down below which one you like better. With that being said, that's all I have for you today. I hope you're having a great day. Please don't forget to subscribe down below, and I would love to see you in my next video.